Today, I'm going to be looking at aqueous and organic liquids and how layer separation has principles that relate to the body itself. This is phenazopyridine hydrochloride, which is a urinary tract analgesic, meaning it gets rid of pain from urinary tract infections. In the body, ionized molecules are easily transported in the general circulatory system, the aqueous blood, and excreted in aqueous urine. Unionized nonpolar molecules are better able to penetrate cellular membranes and reach sites of action. So when phenazopyridine hydrochloride reaches the kidneys, its small size, polarity, and partial ionization allow it to easily be filtered out through the urine. And since large concentrations of this medication end up in the aqueous urine, its pain-relieving effects are focused primarily in the urinary tract area. So here I'm doing a layer separation with oil and water. The water is on the bottom because it's more dense, and the oil sits on top. Because the water is polar and aqueous, it is immiscible with the oil. So what do you think is going to happen when we add this drug? Since this drug targets the urinary tract system, it should dissolve in the aqueous layer and not the nonpolar layer, which is exactly what we see here. Also, notice when the orange-red medication actually dissolves, it turns this bright yellow-orange color. That's because it's an azo dye. In organic chemistry, we define an azo dye as a molecule with two nitrogens double bonded together as a functional group, typically bridging two conjugated systems together to create a hyperconjugated system. And this large conjugated system with free-flowing electrons gives the dye its characteristic color. So when people take this medication, because it is focused in the urinary tract, the urine actually becomes dark orange, almost red, because of this azo dye. Here I'm mixing around the oil and water layer to show that even when they're mixed up, they will ultimately separate back. And this is a common organic chemistry technique called extractions that you can do to get a molecule from one phase to the other phase and essentially isolate a compound. In this case, I'm not doing a separation of anything, but in a laboratory, you can use this technique to separate compounds in a mixture based on their polarity. So then you know your aqueous layer will have polar molecules and your nonpolar organic layer will have nonpolar molecules. Because remember, the entire principle here is that like dissolves like. So nonpolar things dissolve nonpolar compounds and polar things dissolve polar compounds. Here's another layer separation with three liquids this time: acetone, oil, and water. The acetone sits on top because it has the lowest density. The oil is in the middle and the water is on the bottom because it's still the most dense. Now, the acetone and the water have similar enough polarities that they are miscible. However, because they are separated by a nonpolar solvent, they aren't in contact and they don't mix. However, if I were to mix all three of these liquids together, the acetone and the water would combine into one giant aqueous layer. So you can see when I add the phenazopyridine hydrochloride to this three-layer mixture, it only dissolves in the top and bottom aqueous layers. It drops down through the acetone to the oil layer where it sits on top. The heavier pieces drop down through the oil layer and hit the water layer. At the interface between the aqueous and organic layers, you can see the undissolved bits of the drug. But you can see that when it actually touches the aqueous solutions, it dissolves, evident by the change from the solid red color to the dissolved yellow color.